Right, what's going on, guys? We got a new one for you guys today in this video. We're going to be playing some Steel Hunters. It's a new game developed by Wargaming, and I'm happy to say they'll be sponsoring today's video. Now, what is Steel Hunters? Steel Hunters is basically a free-to-play third-person PvP VE Battle Royale extraction shooter. Unlike some other mech games, it's a little more strategic. You've got to think a bit before trying to just bullet storm your way through fights. Steel Hunters is set in the near future, and the mechs actually used to be human but were converted into machines, which is definitely different. There's a few mechs to choose from in the current beta, each with their own playstyles and abilities, and we'll get into a couple of those in a moment. Now, the map holds 6 duo squads, so it's worth it to have a friend to queue up with you, just so you can have a little bit of an advantage. And it's always best to stick with your teammate no matter what, because as I mentioned before, you cannot just solo bullet storm your way through. Your magazines are actually quite limited, and you need your partner to cover you while reloading. The games aren't too fast-paced, but also not too slow, thankfully. And to prevent games being dragged out, there are actually timers in place to make sure your match ends in good time. The maps are almost fully destructible too, so don't worry about anything. Your giant mech is absolutely walking through that building no trouble. Your goal in each match is to collect Starfall. Now, Starfall is basically a super powerful energy source, and it's also the reason hunters exist. Starfall is basically very dangerous and will lethally age humans who come into contact with it. Some humans were immune and became part of a program where they were converted into machines to collect Starfall. They were the first hunters. The lore's honestly pretty good, and it will be definitely interesting to read when it's more fleshed out for anyone who is lore hungry. Now onto the game itself. It's got a pretty standard tutorial level, nice simple explanations without babying you too much. You drop into a small map and you go through everything from basic controls to finding out you only have 2 jump dash charges, learning how to use repair kits, and finally using a special supersized mech mode, which is pretty cool. You basically got a mech piloting a bigger mech. What's not to like? The next levels bring you up to speed with the PvE aspects, taking out the scout and guard drones, picking up loot from them such as more powerful shields. Then it moves on to making sure you know how to use your mini-map, where you can actually tell the AI partner to go take stuff down, picking targets, and finally the extraction aspects. Then we get into our first PvP VE match. There will also be some real players and obviously some AI. Now, AI players are marked with an AI tag, so you'll always know if that takedown was actually skill or you just managed to beat the computer, which honestly I think is really good that they tag them. I like to know if I'm actually fighting the game's AI or actual players, as a lot of these new open world battle royales seem to just try and trick you with like AI thinking you're actually killing players when in fact half of the game is just AI, and then you probably have about 2 players. But I like that it actually tells you what's AI and what's not. After that, we finally get into a full PvP VE match where I didn't see any AI players and had a real partner. Now, this felt so much better. We stuck by each other and absolutely destroyed the other squads. Didn't even need to communicate. We just knew what to do. They deployed shields while I was reloading, and I learned about the quick reload mechanic, which I totally managed to miss earlier on. I whiffed a few reloads, but got the hang of it in the end. And believe me, that extra reload speed is huge when you're fighting other players. For a giant 10-meter mech, you're surprisingly squishy. Through the match, there are also objectives to do, such as taking out rogue drones. These are stronger enemies that drop more loot, so be sure to get those drones ready for the final fight. The match went into a sort of sudden death as there were only 2 squads left, us and the other guys. And we had to hold the extraction until the timer ran out to win. We only saw the other squad right at the end and never got the chance to take them out, but that's fine. Now, this is still technically the tutorial, and at this point, we've unlocked 3 mechs. We start the game with Razorside. Razorside is a medium range mech that uses an assault rifle. You can also select what skills you have in your loadout, even switching to a 3 burst setup for more damage and ammo capacity. His main abilities are shield recharge and a frag grenade, making him a good all-rounder. My next unlock was Trenchwalker. This one actually has a pistol that can steal health from enemies and repair you, which is pretty useful. They also have a launchable grenade that does a good amount of damage. Again, you can change his loadout for specific perks, based on these abilities, such as increasing the pistol damage. Finally, I unlocked Prophet. Now, Prophet uses a charge cannon, and it's quite slow to shoot, but does a ton of damage. Prophet can actually call in an airstrike and summon a friendly drone to help you. This one's really damage heavy and is worth playing. There are currently 4 other mechs to unlock, but they now require Construct, which is the mech purchasing currency. You can actually earn this in-game by progressing your account by leveling up, just things like that. My next unlock is definitely going to be Heartbreaker, which if you're a sniper fan, this one's for you. I won't go too deep into detail because you guys absolutely need to check out this one for yourself, but they can go invisible, which is pretty good on a sniper. But seriously guys, check out Steel Hunters. It's free to play, available for PC on Steam or from the Wargaming Center. And honestly, it's genuinely quite enjoyable. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this one turns out as they add more content to the game. That's all for today's sponsored video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to check out the description. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.